Have you ever pushed through to do something and it just did not go well? Have you ever thought, I would have been better off to just go to bed or stop? I want to talk to you today about giving yourself permission to rest. One of the biggest lessons that I have learned and want to help you to learn, Christian woman leader, is giving yourself permission to rest. So, I'm exhausted. You say to yourself, I'm exhausted. Nobody even knows how tired I am, but I've got to keep going. Have you ever said that to yourself? I've got to keep going. People need me. They're expecting this. They're expecting that. I've got to get this done. Sometimes that's true, but far more often it is in here. It's not true. The world will not come to an end. Practice saying that phrase to yourself. The world will not come to an end if. There are some very practical things I want to share with you that I've learned to do, and I'm sure they will help you. So stick around, stay to the end, and take notes. Then implement one or two. When you have probably planned too many things on your schedule, that's number one. Look at that list, that to-do list, and ask God, are there any things on that list that can be totally crossed off? Don't need to be done. Or don't need to be done now. Maybe they can be done 6 months from now and it wouldn't matter. Do it. Then, can any of those things on your list be delegated? I've heard other leaders say recently, if I don't have to do it, I shouldn't. I don't know if I would go that far, but I know that far too many things on your list and my list in the past were things that I should have delegated. I needed to find other people. I read back in the winter, I read a book, 10x is easier than 2x. And that talked about doing the 20% that you really good at. That's your calling. Forgetting about the other 80%. Or find someone out there who, for them, that is their 20%. They get lit up doing it, and they're really good at it. It can take some time to find that person, but again, go back to God and pray. Ask God, and He will answer. He will lead you. God, please send me someone to do this, and be very specific. One of the first things you need to do is look at what is taking the most of your time that you don't need to be doing. Or is it taking the most of your energy? I'm not techie. If I can find someone else to do the tech things, it is really important. And then find tools to help you so that you can maximize your time on the things that are your 20%. One of the tools that I really don't know how I lived without before is my custom GPT bot. If you have not learned how to create a custom GPT bot, or you're not using AI, I really recommend that you start. It has saved me so much time. It's so important. Use it ethically. Use it well as a Christian. Use it for good, not evil, of course. But use it. It's so, so important. And then let that take on many of your tasks. Life-changing. Then, as you look at your calendar, as you look at your to-do list today, imagine waking up and you're looking at your to-do list and you're feeling exhausted. You don't know how you are going to get through the day. Do you just push through? There are times that you have to, but there are many other times when there are other possibilities. Several I'm going to share with you that I have learned to implement. I have talked for a long time about time blocking, and you need to plan your week. Make sure that you know which are the A things that are really important. And those will be your 20%. Which are the B things? I should do that. Or appointments. Again, appointments can be rescheduled a lot of the time. If you need to reschedule it without guilt. And then pray. More than once, God has removed something, just taken it off my list when I looked at my schedule and thought, this is impossible, humanly speaking, on paper. I'm going to trust you, Lord, but would you please take this and help? On more than one occasion over the years, I live in Minnesota. There are a number of times that God caused a snowstorm and events got canceled. More than once. Just this week, I was supposed to be a guest on a podcast. I love being a guest on a podcast, but it was a day that I was feeling exhausted. I was going to be responsible and be there faithfully, but I wondered how I was going to have my normal energy, how I was going to do it. It's a testimony, so I'm going to share it with you. I had just sent this message to my virtual assistant, who's 13 hours ahead of me. So she was going to bed, and I was in the morning sending this message to her. And I had just scheduled all the things for the day and the week. And I wrote, looking at all there is to do in our own strength and with the time we have, it's not possible to do it all. Smiley face. But God will help us if we rest in Him and rely on His strength. He'll make the important things get done and stretch the time so what needs to get done will. Thankful we can rely on Him. And I clicked send. And then I went and looked at my email. And there was an email from the podcast host saying that the podcast had to be rescheduled for a month from now or weeks from now. because there was work being done on her street that was noise producing, and it was going to interfere with our recording. Does God hear? Does God know? Yes, He does. Praise God. Then I sent an email or a message back to her and said, and just like that, God gave me more time. Big smiley face. And I explained to her the reason. God is so good and faithful. Not only did He do that for me, but it's now a testimony for you, for my virtual assistant, to strengthen her faith, for all that hear it. Does God care about your schedule? Yes. Yes, friend. Yes, He does. Take it to the Lord and pray. And commit your schedule to Him. And then one or two more things that I want to encourage you to do. Say, I'll do it later. I have certain times of the day when I am at my best. Morning's not one of them. And when I am super, super exhausted, I stop. Literally, I just stop. I work from home. I make my own schedule. One of the benefits of being an entrepreneur. And without guilt, I rest. God is the author of time. It is okay to just decide, I'm going to rest now. I'm going to do that thing later. Either later today, or it may be tomorrow, or I'm going to move time blocking. I'm going to take this block and put it here. I'm going to take this block and put it here. When I record these videos, I often decide to move things around. Because when I am rested, I can produce a lot more. I can do many more, one after another. And time blocking works so effectively. And then I can do the other aspects. I can do the editing, or I can do the breaking it into smaller clips, handing it over to my VA. I can do all of that at a different time. But if I'm exhausted, how good are those videos going to be anyway? When you push through, you often do less quality work. Isn't that true? And you definitely start to feel resentful. I've been there and done that. You do not want to be doing this work, and it's ministry and it's helping people. You do not want a heart full of bitterness and resentment as you're doing that. Take and give yourself permission to take a break and rest. Do something enjoyable to you. It still may be work, but it might be something that you just really enjoy. It wasn't even on your list, maybe, or it was on your list for later. You can juggle, you can exchange this block of time for that. So often that works. But maybe you just need to stop. It's okay. Again, I say, if you need someone to give you permission to stop, I'm here. It's okay. Just stop. God is not a slave driver. He may want to speak to your mind and give you ideas for how to do something better, more efficiently, in a different way. Or you might be pushing through on something he's going to take off your schedule completely. And then you will have pushed for nothing. God is so good and faithful. There are times when it's time to just stop. You're not done. It might not have been the plan for today. It's okay. Just rest. Just rest. I hope this has been encouraging to you. These are practical tips for giving yourself permission to rest. This is Wendy Gunn.